Welcome back, guys. Danny here, once again in RFactor 2, taking a look at the recently released DLC pack of 5 GT3 cars. This time, we are going to be looking at our fourth car in the pack, the Mercedes-Benz. And I think that this car is going to give my favorite so far, which is the C7, the Callaway C7. I think this Mercedes is going to give that a run for its money because I have driven this car in other sims, and it's one of my favorite GT3 cars there is, and so I'm thinking probably more than likely I will enjoy this one as well. So this is the second to last one. I'll do this test drive. We've got one more, which is going to be the Radical, and after we finish all 5 test drives, I'm going to think about it, figure out what car I want to drive, and then we're going to do a GT3 race. That'll be the 6th and final video in this series. But for this video, we're going to head out on the track and test this Mercedes AMG GT3 out at Bathurst, so I'll see you on the track in just a second. Alright, welcome back, guys. We are sitting in this Mercedes, getting ready to pull out of the pits. Going to take a couple laps around Bathurst. Now, I think this car is going to give, like I said before, I think this car is going to give the C7 a run for its money on my favorite, because I have driven this before. I really do like this Mercedes. What I like about the Mercedes and other sims is that it's not the fastest, but it's very agile. You can really chuck it into corners. There's not a whole lot of fuss. There's not a whole lot of complaining. It just goes right where you ask it to. So let's see if it feels the same. Definitely not the fastest in the group by any means. I think it's probably even a little bit slower than the McLaren, but man, does it corner. The tires are dead cold. There's no heat in these tires, and it just turns in. It does exactly what you ask it to. No fuss, no complaining. Just turns right in. Now the tires are loose. That's why I got a little squirrely there. That cold tires and elevation change. I probably shouldn't be pushing this hard on the out lap, but that's okay because I have confidence in this car. Yeah, man, the physics are great on this car. Force feedback feels really, really good. Sounds amazing. I always love the sounds of Mercedes, and not just the GT3, but Mercedes in general on racing games always sound really, really good. But yeah, I mean, it almost turns in so well. I'm nearly bumping the inside wall. Excuse me, and that's a car that nearly makes you bump the inside wall. It inspires confidence because it just turns in so quick. And it just keeps that traction on the ground. You can get right back in the throttle. No fuss. Awesome. So it's a toss-up for me right now between that C7R and this car, for sure. Brakes really well. I'll tell you, RFactor 2 has got some of the best physics, or some of the best force feedback there is. You know, it fell off a while back. Several years ago, it kind of fell off the podium or in that upper 4 or 5 sims. And unfortunately, people just kind of fell out of love with it. But ISI has really, really brought this game back around. And if they keep going in the direction that they're going right now, this will end up being a really good sim. Keep in mind also, guys, this is the DX9 version of the game. I haven't opted into the DX11 version yet, but that is a beta version that you can test. The DX11 is running, and I hear it's running very smoothly. So at some point in time, probably soon, I am going to opt into that beta and check out the DX11 because supposedly that looks a lot better. Which we would expect. Also, it's supposedly a much better performing version of RFactor 2. But I didn't want to take any chances with the testing of these cars, so I just left it the base version of the game. You never want to do too many things at once because you run into issues. Man, this is one heck of a car. I'm going to get past here, but that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah. Look at it, it's a pretty car too. These things are something of beauty, I'll tell you. I don't know if I'm going to do the final race at Bathurst just because it's a tough track. You can see I'm getting passed left and right. I just don't have a lot of confidence in some of these sections to hold the speed that they are. And I'm in the same car. Look at how quickly it turns in. So we'll finish this lap up, but I'm highly impressed with this car. This is definitely, it's very difficult for me to make a determination which one I like better, whether I like this car better or the C7. They're very, very close. But this pack is like 14 bucks, and it is well, I haven't even driven the last car yet, and it's well worth the $14, guys. If you've been looking for some actual content to spruce up RFactor 2 and give some new life to it, you need to check this pack out. Go ahead, download it right off of Steam. I'll put the link in the description below. This is a great pack. Awesome. So that concludes our test drive of this Mercedes GT3, guys. We've got one more to check out. That'll be the next video. And then after we do that test drive, I'll tell you about that car. And then I'll make a determination on which one I want to drive in the final and 6th video, which will be a GT3 series race. Probably 5 or 6 laps. I don't know where yet. That will be determined at that point in time. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll see you when we go test drive the very last car in this pack. So see you then.